Hello, I'm Linda. This lesson today is about then and now. It's about a village in Burkina Faso, and we're going to do some grammar, some vocabulary, some reading and some writing. Okay? Ready? Okay, can you put these phrases and words in order to make a sentence? You can, of course, pause the screen, pause the video, or take a screenshot. Are you ready? Okay, there are several ways you can do this. One is every 10 years since 1985, an Englishman has gone back to a village in Burkina Faso to see the changes. And this is true. So let's find out more about the village and the changes. What changes do you think he has seen related to these 5 areas? Sorry, 6 areas. Pause and think or make notes. Okay. Right. Here are some examples. For example, the housing in 1985 and the housing in 2016. This is the typical housing in that village in Burkina Faso. We need some vocabulary to describe these accurately. So now I want you to pause and match the vocabulary with the picture. Okay, are you ready? Of course, you can use dictionaries if you need to. Here are the answers, and I'll pronounce the words for you. So straw is H. Corrugated iron is C. Thatched roof is B. Rectangular is G. A brick is E. A pump is A. The water table is the level of the water under the surface of the land is F. And a well is D. Okay. Right, we need some reading now. So can you find 3 changes in housing in those 30 years from this reading text here? You can pause. Okay. Ready? Here are the changes. Okay, from round houses to rectangular. From earth walls or mud huts to bricks, and from thatched roofs to corrugated iron roofs. Those are 3 of the changes. Next, we need to find 4 changes in water in those 30 years. Can you read through here and find 4 changes? Okay, ready? Here are 4 of the changes. Okay, so women had to carry the water. They got a water pump. Water table is sinking, and now they carry water in many different ways. Those examples there. Okay, can you use these words to make 3 true sentences? 1 for each of the columns. Pause to write your sentences. You have a clue with the capital letter of the first word. Okay, ready? Did you get those sentences? They're here in red. And this is the grammar we're going to look at today. We have 2 positive sentences, 1 negative. And there are 4 questions, A, B, C, D. Can you pause to make some notes about these 4 questions? Okay. So, A, Of course, they're about the past. B, did they happen more than once? Yes, these are repeated actions. C, what part of the verb? That's the base form or infinitive. And how do you make the negative? Have a look back at the example. Didn't used to, with no D on used. Okay. Can you write some more sentences using used to about these topics? For example, they didn't used to have corrugated iron roofs, but they do now. So pause and practice by writing more sentences. Okay. And can you practice used to even more now, writing about food, health, education? So you're predicting what they used to do and what the changes are. Are you ready? We're going to read more about the education. I want you to read through and write a few more used to sentences as well. This slide is about education. Okay. And this is about food. Okay. So have you written some sentences with used to? Check the grammar, check the infinitive or base form, and check the ideas are correct. Okay. Right, what about questions? So we need to ask questions about these pictures. For example, did the women used to ride motorbikes? No, they didn't, but they do now. Some of them anyway. So the question form, look at that example. Did the women used to ride motorbikes? I want you to write a few questions from those pictures. Pause and do that now. Okay. So here are some examples. And can you complete numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6? Pause to do those. Okay, ready? Let's go through the answers. Did the village used to have a TV mast? Did everyone used to have mobile phones or use mobile phones? Did the women used to be equal to the men? And did the women sit on the floor at village meetings? Do you think any of these things are still true now? Maybe many of them are. Let's check. And if you can, write even more used to sentences. Here's a slide about the technology. Okay. And here about women. Okay. So your task now is to write a dialogue. Imagine you're making an interview. You're a radio interviewer and you're interviewing someone from the village in Burkina Faso, and write the dialogue between them. So the interviewer can ask all about village life in Burkina Faso 30 years ago and now. You need to ask at least 3 questions with used to. And the person from the village needs to describe the life in the village in the past and now. And you can use used to in the positive and negative when you're describing the past. Okay? The follow-up for this lesson, you can read more about the changes in Burkina Faso from the Easier English issue 499. at the eewiki.uint.org. When you read any of these articles, if you click on the link at the bottom, you can read the original article, which is more difficult, and your reading and vocabulary improves a lot. Okay? See you in the next lessons.